Hello, my fellow seekers. Welcome to Into the Work, therapy for empaths, seekers, and the intuitively driven, where you have front row seats to therapy sessions and expert interviews that will help you define the important work that you're here to do. So I guess you actually have something better than front row seats. You practically have a seat on my couch. That's right, you will have unrestricted access to actual sessions with real people, exploring real life issues. You will continue to be inspired by powerful conversations with experts and healers that might just share exactly what it is that you need to hear to get unstuck. I am Michelle Pauverman. I am a recovering people pleaser and former anxiety-driven empath, turned now mostly grounded psychotherapist and intuitive coach. I have been helping people for almost 20 years manage their limiting beliefs and anxiety to finally stop the self-sabotage and step into their gifts. I created this podcast, Into the Work, to give you a place to learn more about yourself and give you actionable strategies to finally move those roadblocks holding you back so you can go for what you want. Above all else, my hope is that this podcast is a catalyst for your awakening. If you're listening, you've already taken a step towards getting off of autopilot, and our next steps together will be taken episode by episode, waking you up to the possibilities, the new ways of thinking and being, so that you can stretch into that next level of your story. The spark has already been lit, and my friend, this is a journey from spark to brilliance. So together, let's light a fire. Hey there, before we jump into today's episode, I want to share a secret with you. Well, okay, it's only a secret because you're the first to know, but next week I am releasing a project so dear to my heart, the Modern Empath's Boundary Mastery. It is a 12-week group coaching program coupled with a powerful weekly dripped course to support you in seriously stepping into your next level self. We get started by setting a really juicy soul goal so it actually excites you. Bonus points if it actually scares you a little. And for the next 12 weeks, we'll be meeting to support you and hold you accountable to make this happen. So this course is also all about strengthening your boundaries with yourself and the world. And so the first 4 weeks, we're healing your boundaries with yourself. Okay, we're going to spend time really focusing in on like your addictions and your limiting beliefs and the stories that you have and all the stuff that's happening that's getting in the way of your goal. All the things that are happening that get in the way for you typically are going to start showing up. And we're going to do the coursework and do the PDFs and everything else. You're going to start spending that first 4 weeks really shifting your relationship that you have to yourself. One that if you make a promise, you show up for it. And the relationship with everybody else comes with the next 4 weeks. And that's when you're really working on the boundaries you have with other people. And there's a massive belief system shift that we have that's just so important to this work and why you probably have not been able to fix this yet. Because you weren't really doing the belief work and understanding that so much of what happens when you're trying to set a boundary with other people is occurring in the body, in the energy field. It's somatic. It's all sorts of layers. And so we're going to really work to heal all the layers and bring up as much as we can for those weeks. And the following 4 weeks, which is the final 4 weeks of the program, we are going to heal your energetic boundaries. You're going to learn how to reprogram your thoughts for higher vibration and holding happiness longer. I am including for each phase, it's going to also include a group healing where we release all the blocks and stuff in your energy system, emotions and things like that that are getting in the way. So there's going to be lots of activations and meditations and again, PDFs to support your transformation. So if this interests you, when you're done with this episode, go ahead and click on the link below to get notified. If you're not on my email list, I will be releasing and offering a really big discount for people that sign up early. The program gets started April 1st. and the list price will be going up. And so for just 5 days after the 10th, the 14th, I am going to offer a large discount just to get people that opportunity to sign up early. And I'm just so excited. I'm just really, really excited to finally put this out into the world. So let's head over and talk about the Akashic Records. Hello and welcome back to the show. I am actually very excited today, probably as excited as you are, to talk with Amy Robeson. We are talking with Amy, and if you don't know Amy, Amy is the host of the Awakening with Amy Robeson podcast. Amy is on the show today, though, because I am so very excited for her to talk about the Akashic Records. And I actually, little side story here, I actually was literally saying to somebody, I really, really want to find somebody to come on the show and talk about the Akashic Records. And sure enough, like a day or two later, I got an email and Amy is on my show now. So it's magically meant to be. And so Amy's been teaching the Akashic Records for a long time, since like 2017, right? Mm-hmm. And she's been practicing them for years before that. And we're going to explore today the power of and also the secrets. I'm excited about this word, secrets of the Akashic Records. It sounds kind of exciting. And just what an important tool this could be for you and I on our spiritual journey. And I'm just so excited to hear more. Amy has also been so kind to give some sort of a demonstration. I told her to do whatever feels, is flowing in the moment for her. I'm pretty open, so she needs to use me as a catalyst for a message for you guys. I'm good with that too. So welcome, Amy. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, Michelle, about you setting that intention, like I really want someone to come on. The records start speaking to people when they're ready to receive the information.
Mm.
And so for you to just say that and then all of a sudden now we're chatting and talking like the records really are trying to get your attention in like such a big way, which I'm excited about because I'm excited to see where this takes you as well. Because if for anybody that doesn't know, the Akashic Records holds every word, deed, thought from the moment your soul is incepted. And we can go into the records to receive love and guidance and support in any and all areas of our life from the guardians, or also known as the masters, teachers, and loved ones. It's basically an energetic field of infinite possibilities that holds all of your soul lineage and all of your ancestral lineage information so that the guardians can guide you on your path to remembrance.
So when you say the Akashic Records, we're talking about a field of energy, right? A field of infinite possibilities is what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that on some level, there's so much information in the field specifically about us, right?
Yes.
There's information from like day one of our first breath, right? There's
not even first breath, like our first inception as a soul, like
soul, right?
As a soul, meaning when our essence was created, because we don't just like automatically come into human form. Our essence is created from creation, God, universe, whatever sacred title you give that being. And from that place of inception, that's when everything starts to record about us. And the cool thing is you can think about it instead of a field, you can think about it as like a computer database of your soul, like a Google database of your soul, and you can receive information because they're not only like taking into account like everything about you from this lifetime, they're taking into account everything about you, period.
So past lives, past experiences, all within the field, all within the Akashic Records, right?
And because we think logically and linearly, like everything is also happening at the same time. So it's the past, the present, and the future. And even though we're in this present moment as a human, that doesn't mean that there aren't things energetically happening on different timelines for us as well.
That always blows my mind. I'm so fascinated by that. It's like really, the multiverse idea that, right?
Yes.
I mean, how can we be the only ones? It's just this ginormous, infinite universe. It's like, really, are we really ourselves, our souls, our parts living and expressing themselves somewhere else is fascinating.
Yeah. Well, we're so multidimensional, and the best way to explain that for someone that's like, well, what does that actually mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, have you ever had a dream and then all of a sudden, a day later, weeks later, years later, months later, whatever amount of time it is, you're like, wait, I've been here before. I'm having deja vu. I've had this conversation, or I remember this happening. It's because there's a part of us that has already lived the experience on another timeline, or your subconscious revealed something to you that's like a future possibility. And you're just remembering it in that exact moment.
Wow. Yeah. I guess what we can learn today about the Akashic Records, we certainly, I think, need to understand what they are. And then also, how does one access them?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's many different ways to access them. The way that I teach my students in Sacred Awakening, which is our Akashic Record program, is I teach them how to access them using a simple prayer method with crystalline energy. Because I think that using the crystalline energy assists they're like keys that unlock the door. Mm-hmm. And with the crystalline energy, it assist the person and then you can fill in the blanks. Some people need extra grounding. Some people need extra opening up of the third eye. Some people need extra fire or extra water, depending on what crystals we handpick, because we handpick crystals for each student.
So when you say, just so everybody understands, when you say crystalline energy, are you talking about holding a crystal and using its energy?
So yes and no. So you don't have to have a physical crystal in order to open it. Like, we get from the guardians exactly what crystals that you are meant to use.
Okay.
We give tangible crystals to our students so that they have something tangible to hold on to while we're working on something abstract.
Okay. Oh, so interesting. And so that, I'm sorry, I'm such a nerd about this. I'm really excited to learn. So how are you using the crystalline energy is it just
it's a very specific way that we teach inside of inside of our program on how to do it. It's very different, very unique from other programs that are out there. There's many different ways that people teach the records. And so we have a very quick, easy method. If you're grounded, you can get in the records after a little bit of practice within a minute or two. If you're ungrounded, 'cause every day is different, like it might take a little bit longer, but with practice, people get in really quickly.
Oh, that's really exciting to think you could do that so quickly.
Yeah, the thing is like our attention spans are so bad, like
especially now
with the way social media is designed. And so with that, I always just recommend just go in there for 5 minutes. Just go in for 5 minutes. And if it takes 30 minutes to get in, like your chances are you're not going to go into the records. And so it has to be quick and easy to get in and start getting answers on demand.
Yeah. And so when you're using this, like what kind of ways can people think about how they could use this for themselves?
So the records are a great tool for life. They're a great self-discovery tool. It's a great life tool. And so you can use it for little things like, what can I make for dinner? And what would be a great thing for me to wear today for this meeting that I'm having? Or, hey, I'm wanting to attract more abundance in my life. How can I do that? Or like, I've used the records to create my whole business. I've used the records to create programs. I've used the records to help with challenging conversations that I need to have. To construct emails or to speak. Like, I use the records for anything. And so you can use the records for little things and very big things. Big things like, what's my life purpose? How can I overcome this pattern? Why does this pattern keep coming up for me? And so that's the cool part about the records is no question is too small and no question is too big.
And I don't know if your psychic gifts play a role in how you access. So can somebody are you seeing something? Are you hearing? Are you experiencing?
So with the records, we're using our senses. Do you have to label yourself as psychic? Absolutely not. Everybody has access to their senses. Some are very in tuned and some need some practice. And so we are all connected to our intuition and our senses. We shut them down as we get older to keep ourselves safe, because sometimes adults say that that's not appropriate to do those things, or sometimes people scare themselves based on the information that they were receiving when they were a kid. And so it's all about remembering who you are and how to tap into those senses. And we have different ways of doing that. And we have many different senses. And so you don't have to see something in order for it to be working. I actually don't see as much as I feel, hear, or know. Like my knowing clair is the strongest clair of them all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so you can kind of sit, and just because I know people are going to be curious. So when you want to learn how to tap into the record, you can go there rather quickly. And then you can just sort of open yourself up to just receive the answer, however you might experience.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a dialogue.
It's a dialogue. Okay.
Yeah. You're
asking questions.
Conversation. It's
just like you would talk to your guides or talk to, right? So, but you're just getting this specific level, like access to this. I don't know. This sounds so, I don't know if I'm like this different access to this information that's on this like special, I don't know. It just seems so interesting to me that you could tap into this one thing and then it opens up and then you receive so much, and how that is actually different than receiving and talking to your guides and just getting information in general. So, you know what I mean?
So sometimes when people are talking to, let's say, a spirit guide, doesn't mean that spirit guide's not an Akashic Record master, teacher, and loved one. Some spirit guides are, some are not.
Oh.
A lot of time when you're getting like psychic hits, that's coming from the astral plane and not the Akashic field. And so with the Akashic field, the masters, teachers, and loved ones are taking into consideration everything about you. And not just about that particular moment in time. And that's a really big, important differentiation between the two, because when you take into consideration, hey, let's say I'm wanting to manifest money quickly and I have a big ancestral money pattern, they're going to take a look at that and be able to identify there's an ancestral money pattern here. And we need to work on that, clear it so that we don't continue on. Because I might be doing all the right things, but nothing's changing. I'm thinking about money in a positive way. I'm wanting money in. I'm thinking my bills. I'm doing all these things, but nothing's working. Well, why is that? And that's a really big secret in the records, is like, sometimes you could be doing all of the things to manifest. So I'm putting that in quotations, but it doesn't work. Well, the reason why it doesn't work is because there's something either going on in the soul lineage or there's something going on in the ancestral lineage. And we need to take a look at both.
And through working with the records, can you heal the ancestral lineage?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You can do some massive rearranging of your energy and consciousness and patterns, and do massive healing in a very short period of time. With Sacred Awakening, our program's 4 months long, and people are night and day different by the time they end the course. Like, it's insane on how quickly someone can change.
That's amazing. That's so cool. Yeah. And so I've also heard you talk about light language when you were talking about accessing the records. Is that correct? Am I get that right?
Yeah. So, I have a blend of many different modalities. And one of the things that I was guided to do and encouraged to do from the masters, teachers, and loved ones is to bring light language forward. You don't have to have access to the records in order to have access to light language. It's not a record prerequisite. It's just something that I do in our healings, meditation, activations, things like that.
Can you tell people what light language is?
Yeah. Light language is the cosmic language of your soul. What it does is it moves past the conscious mind to the subconscious mind, and it breaks us out of trance. And it helps us to remember our wholeness. Sometimes there are no human words that can encapsulate what wants to be shared. And what light language does is it speaks to the higher self. And the higher self speaks to you, even if your mind doesn't understand that, like your conscious mind doesn't understand that. And great way to describe it is one of my friends, he was listening to me speak light language, and he was like, Amy, it was like my higher self was like, listen, you need to listen right now. Like, and it like snapped me out of, I was like, he said he was like kind of just starting to fall asleep and doze off. But it was like, it was so important. And it's hard to describe because every movement, symbol, sign, sound holds paragraphs of information. And again, we can interpret the essence of what is being shared, but there aren't human words to fully encapsulate it into human words.
Wow.
Because it's frequency.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And so he just like frequency, he just resonated with it. And his whole body is like, woof, it's time to pay attention.
Yeah. I was just on a podcast interview last week, and I did a little light language healing, and the host was like, that was so different, like so different than what I've experienced before, because I just thought it was just going to be a bunch of like, like that. And she's like, and that's not light language. I'm just kind of mimicking what she said. It's different. Like it hits on a soul level, and there's many different forms of light language. And for me, I feel like it's an enhancement tool to the work that we're doing, because it's like I'm channeling these healings, through meditation, and there's just something that wants to create a little bit of a bigger punch, like a zap of energy, or tie things together in a really nice way. And it breaks you out of trance. It's like tuning into a particular radio station that your soul's ready to receive from.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds really powerful. Yeah, totally. So as we're talking about doing some of your own demonstration here, what do you feel called to do?
Well, do you want to do a little mini reading first, and then we can do like a little light language. We can do like a little healing as well. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. So anybody that's listening to this, anything I'm sharing with Michelle, if it resonates with you, it's also for you, because we're doing it in a group setting. Like, people are listening all around the world, right? And so if you're listening, anything that resonates, take it. Anything that doesn't, leave behind the rest. And then I'll also tie it back into like a bigger group message as well. So what I usually like to do, Michelle, is just ask like, what are you struggling with, or what do you want support with? Or is there a specific question that you want support with? The other thing I don't want to do is medical questions, just because we don't have enough time, and there's a bunch of stuff that I would want to ask you. And I'd rather not do that on the show.
I got you. I'm with you. So, what can I mention here? I am expanding in my business, and I'm expanding into a whole new space, and really excited about what I'm creating. And it's amazing. There's so much work involved in it, just so much. And it comes from my heart. And I'm trying really hard to not get so caught up in the anxiety and all my stuff, where I'm like, I can get perfectionistic, and I'm just so, I'm really trying to come at this from a place of like, just like love. I want to come from a place of feeling like this is in alignment with me, so it doesn't have to be hard, right? But I like to make it hard. I like to make it really hard. And so I just had this huge meeting, and I got a list of like 500 things that need to be done. And I'm like, whoa. And then, I start to spiral. And so I'm working on, sort of how can I be better at this? And I can feel it already coming in. In so many areas of my life, I'm in constant contact with my guides, my intuition. Like, people just tell me what to do. It's great. Like, I love it. I love the connection that I have. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, I get so triggered that I don't access that stuff.
Go into freeze mode.
I go into freeze mode. I go into like,
hypervigilance and a bunch of other stuff. So they're saying it's really important for you to restructure. And that's a really important word for you in general, because it's a way for you to take a step back and recognize that you're not starting from scratch. You're just restructuring. So it's creating new systems, new playbooks. They're really wanting me to use that word playbook and keyword play. It's kind of like, I don't know if you're into football, but they're wanting me to use a football analogy. It's kind of like football. They have these playbooks and they have certain plays that they can do based on what the defense is going to do and what the offense is going to do. And so there's different plays, right, that the team practices and things like that. And so by restructuring and by creating new systems, you'll have a playbook that allows you to prepare for when things aren't going the way that they're meant to go. And it's like your nervous system and your inner child can then relax because, wait, I've already came up with systems for this. And sometimes you have to come up with a system when the problem arises. And so instead of going into this spiral, like, oh my God, there's all these things, this stress, this, that, whatever, the question will be is, how can we restructure this for ease?
I love that.
How can we restructure this for play? How can I make this more easy? Because it's also about giving yourself permission for it to be easy and not hard, because you're expecting it to be hard when it can be easy.
Yes, 100%.
And that's old programming. It's very old. It's very, very, very old. And the guardians are also saying that, like, if you expect it to be hard, they're going to hand it to you on a platter that's hard.
Great.
So the question comes is, can I give myself permission to make it easy? Can I allow myself to take a pause, take a breath, get in my body and go, how can we restructure this with ease? And just because just because you've used systems in the past that used to work, those are old coping behaviors. Those are old coping mechanisms that got you to this point. Where you're wanting to go next, those are outdated and they're not going to get you to where you want to be. And there is this invitation for ease.
Yes.
Massive invitation for ease.
Yeah. And I woke up to it yesterday. I was like, I had this huge experience of this meeting and it was wonderful. But I was like, oh, like I felt such an overwhelm. And then the next day, which was yesterday, I was like, wait a minute. I just got this kind of like hit with something. And I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I just was able to kind of felt like a little smack, like kind of hit me up to say, it doesn't have to be this way. And
exactly.
So you're right. Yeah, that's such a good message for me to hear. Again, I need to hear it again. That was wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next part is for you to stop and pause and look around your environment. Your environment dictates the way that your mind is at ease or not at ease. And there's just some old systems, against keyword that keep coming back to systems that don't work for where you're going. And environment also means like project folders and computer and things like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. I've really operated without systems. So, really, I mean, I have a little bit of, my brain is a little, creative. I'm a little neurologically spicy in terms of being a little ADD. So my brain will be like all over the place. And I reach for, the passionate fruit that's hanging and I just grab it and go. But having systems it's not my forefront. It's not my strength for sure.
Yeah. And so when you're reaching for the fruit that seems the most enticing, it's actually the thing that's distracting you from the thing you're meant to be doing, which then causes the overwhelm because you're supposed to be doing this other thing, but this looks like this looks energetically appealing and fun and easy, where sometimes when you reach for that versus let me put that on the back burner we can come back to that thing later. This other thing that's really important for me to do right this moment has to take priority. And that's where those systems come into place, where it's like, how can I prioritize my day? How can I prioritize my projects? How can I prioritize my time?
Yeah. Yes, you're speaking it resonates, I guess we'll say. Yeah. So yeah. And I think our listeners probably can appreciate that too. I don't know if you agree, but there is something about the energy of this new year. It feels different for me in some way, but
oh yeah, for sure.
And for my clients, I keep it's like everybody is coming in with like a feeling of, I need to change. I need to start a new business. I need to do this new thing. All these people are just sort of like gearing up to expand, right? I mean, I just feel it. It's in the air. Yeah. So I feel like that energy can feel so exciting and big and juicy and awesome. And then you got to get down to like systems to make anything happen. So I need to somehow make systems fun. That's what I need to do.
Absolutely. And do you have an assistant or anybody?
Not yet.
Okay. It would be highly beneficial.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I don't like doing things I don't want to do. And I'm not good at those things either. And so it's not my forte. Making a spreadsheet, making folders nice and organized and things like that. That drives me mad. It's just not fun. But I do like structure and I do like systems and I do like organization. I just don't want to be the one that does it, right?
Totally. 100%.
I want to stay in my genius zone. I want to stay in my mastery, and I want someone else to stay in their genius zone and stay in their mastery that does those things. And so that one of the most effective things that you can do is hire someone to take over the things you're not good at.
It's on the list, Amy. It's on the list.
And you do it sooner than later. Because most people think like in business that you have to be making all this money before you, and I don't know your income or anything like that, but this is just a thing that comes up a lot because I do business coaching where it's like, I gotta have this amount of success in order to justify hiring someone. Well, no, you can hire someone for just a one-off project. You can hire someone. I think like my first VA, I hired her for like 10 hours a month. And like my main priority was make sure I made enough money so I could pay her.
Yeah.
And so it does help. And when you start working on systems before you actually need them, it's super beneficial because like we put together our customer service support system before we were even getting 10 emails. And so now we've outgrown our system and we need a new system now. And so like everything has a place and time in wherever you are at, and everything will meet you where you're at, but you can get ahead of the 8 ball so that you aren't stressed out and overwhelmed when everything gets a little hairy because it wasn't the motions weren't set in place to solve the problem before the problem was even going to happen.
Yeah, that feels wise.
They're using this analogy, and I'll give them this analogy because I think like a lot of people can relate to this, even if you don't have a business. Let's say you have a child and you want to have a birthday party at your house. You want to get your house ready for the birthday party. There's a couple things that have to get done, like ordering a cake, decorations, preparing your house. Maybe you're going to have a barbecue outside. So there's things like, you want to do this. There's things that you can start doing a month ahead of time that allow you to start preparing your house and preparing for the party. So you're not doing everything the night before. And you're not overwhelmed. And it could be just getting the outside ready, getting the inside ready, doing a little project every day. That's 15 minutes. And that 15 minutes dedicated for a whole month will massively change your nervous system on when the day arrives, because it wasn't all these things that had to get done at the last minute. And there wasn't any fires to put out. And there was space for a fire if it did come out come up to put out because things happen.
That's really funny that you're saying this because I was making the decision. I was like, maybe I should get up a half an hour earlier. And I already get up at 6 a.m. I'm like, maybe I should get up a half an hour earlier. And then I was having an argument with myself, like, really, what are you going to get done in a half an hour? Because by the time I even, actually sit in the seat and get my brain wrapped around what needs to be done, the half an hour is going to be like almost gone. But what I'm hearing you say is no, like go for that extra 15 minutes, like find the 15 minutes, just use 15 minutes towards something, even if it's just coming up with one tiny little part.
Yeah.
And I literally talked myself out of that yesterday. I was like, yeah, I'm going to sleep.
I totally get that. And research has shown like people that get up at 5 a.m. are like super uber productive, but it depends on what season you're at in your life. Like right now, I want to get up early, but I'm about to go speak at the Conscious Life Expo. It's a 2-hour time difference. I'm going to be, which is later in the evening because I'm Central Time, that's Pacific Time. If I do that now, I will destroy my sleep before I get there because I'm going to be up until midnight, which would be 2 a.m. Yes. Like if I get up, so it's not worth it. So that's the thing. It's like an extra 15 minutes is productive. And it also doesn't mean you get up early just to start work. An extra 15 minutes can be just doing some breathing exercises, meditating. That gets you in a state of peace and calm that allows you to be more productive. Or getting up, let's say you do get up an hour early, it allows you to shift your whole day around where you can get some spiritual practices done. You can even get like a mini workout session in or a walk or something like that, which makes you way more productive before anything starts just grabbing your attention.
Yeah. Yes. I don't work the same. I don't function the same if I don't exercise. It is definitely.
I can't. Like I can't function.
I don't function. Yes. Doesn't feel good. It's like crazy, the difference. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So for anybody that's listening to this, like I'm going to just do like a little recap, basically what you might want to run with it. So take a moment to look at where your energy bleeds are. Take a moment to decide what systems are working for you, what systems are not. And that's in any and all areas of your life. It doesn't have to be with business. So what systems are working, what systems are not. And then also, because we brought up this time about morning, how are you utilizing your time in the morning that is productive for what you're wanting to accomplish in this chapter of your life? And sometimes sleep is a priority. And also, if you are a night owl and you are 10 times more productive at night, please don't change the way you are just because everybody says to get up early, because I know people that get so much work done in the middle of the night and they're awesome, but they sleep in later and that's just the way their bodies work. Yeah. And I think that's beautiful. The other thing is trust where you're being guided to go and ask if it can be easeful.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe in that. I think we need to be present enough to stop and do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So that's when I went through my overwhelm, I was not present. I was like, oh my God, I have so much to do. And I'm just like aimlessly trying to get something done on, and I wasn't really present. And so thank you. That is a wonderful message because it's true. We have to flex our trust muscle and we have to work on being present to stop ourselves from the train that's leaving the station before it gets too far out. Yeah. So now, were you going to say something about light language too?
Yeah. So we can do a little healing, which I think what I want to do it is based on releasing overwhelm.
Ooh.
I think that would be really helpful.
Yes, it would.
And then for anybody that's listening to this, don't drive or operate heavy machinery while listening to this part. People do fall asleep, so it's really important not to do that. And then, so do you want to do this?
Yeah, this is so generous of you, Amy. Thank you.
Okay. Close your eyes and bring your awareness into your heart space. Sink into the sacred nectar of your being and receive a breath, taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, cleansing breath out through the mouth, Another nice deep breath in through the nose. Cleansing breath out through the mouth. On that exhale, feel your grounding cord rooted to the earth. Your grounding cord will go down, down, down to the center of the earth where there's a crystalline ball of energy, and you'll plunk your grounding cord into Gaia's heart chakra. And then on the inhale, you'll pull her energy up into you. And on the exhale, you'll feel her energy surround you with love. On the inhale, feel the crown of your head reach up towards the great I am, which you can see, sense, or imagine like a golden energy above your head. And on the exhale, feel that energy pour into you. This is creation, God, universe. And then I want you to feel these energies dancing in you like a masculine energy and a feminine energy. And they're just preparing you for your journey today. And then I want you to sense, feel, see, or imagine that there is a beautiful golden rainbow. And it starts at the base where your feet are. And I want you to feel, sense, or imagine you're able to walk onto this golden rainbow. And it's like a big, gigantic highway. I want you to step onto this golden rainbow and it'll start to flatten out. So it'll feel like you have space to walk. The surface is solid. It's easy for you to walk on. And as you're walking, in every step you take, I want you to sense, feel, see, or imagine as if there is stress, overwhelm, distraction, uneasiness. It's just kind of melting away from your body. It's being extracted by just walking on this beautiful golden rainbow that has iridescent colors of all kinds. And you might want to stop and pause at any point in time and just allow the energy to just start to pull this uneasiness, this overwhelm, this stress, distraction. And it might even, you maybe have been feeling unwell, and maybe that's not the word, but whatever it is that's not ease, grace, peace, love, happiness, joy, we're going to invite that to be released. Taking a nice deep breath in, cleansing breath out. I want you to feel, sense, or imagine as you're walking on this rainbow now, I want you to feel, sense, or imagine that there's these beautiful sacred geometry shapes. And as you're walking on each shape, they will activate and they will infuse ease. They will infuse peace. They will infuse joy. They will infuse happiness, balance, contentment. And contentment, I mean, you are content with being at ease. You're content with being and experiencing joy. You are content with the present moment in which you're at, and you're not overthinking about the future. You're not getting into overwhelm about the future. And I want you to feel, sense, or imagine that one of these sacred geometry shapes is really calling to you. And I want you to step on that shape, and you're going to stand on that shape. And there's going to be all these beautiful swirling rainbow colors that are coming in and around you. And they're going to be just inviting more of that ease and more of that peace, more of that joy, that contentment, being content, being present, feeling more love. Rosa, taking a nice deep breath in, cleansing breath out. You'll move to the next sacred geometry shape. And when you get on that shape, I want you to sense, feel, see, or imagine that there's an infusion of rainbow energy that's going into the hands. And as it floods the hands, you're going to place that on your heart and on your throat. The one hand on the heart, one hand on the throat. And that's so that you're bridging your thoughts and your words. So your outer world and your inner world to be at peace in the heart. And so you'll place one hand on the heart, one hand on the throat. And when you're ready, you can place that hand that you have on the throat onto the head. And then you can relax the hands down. And then you're going to receive a message. This message may be downloaded for you to receive at a later date, or you may receive it in this moment. And then I want you to feel sensory imagine you're getting to the edge of the rainbow where it's going to slope down. I want you to slide down the edge of the rainbow. And as you're sliding down, all these beautiful light codes are going to help you. And then you're going to land back into your heart space. And as you land in your heart space, I want you to receive a breath, taking a nice deep breath in, cleansing breath out. Another nice deep breath in. Cleansing breath out. You can bow your chin in towards your chest, chin towards your chest, sorry. And blink your eyes open slowly. Take your time coming back to. Cool. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
I feel really at peace.
Good.
Yeah.
Feels like you're going to receive some more information in a couple days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really got that. I mean, I got a few things, but I got that. Yep, it's time to change, Michelle. Like, yep, it's time. It's okay. That's good. It's like a rate of time.
A really calm way it was said.
Yes.
You too.
Yeah. It's just time to change. That's all. That was like what the frequency of it too. It was just so, okay. Yeah, that's no big deal. Yeah.
Yes. It's what we make it up. We manufacture into be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you deserve to be at peace when you're navigating the things that you're navigating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I often talk about how we're co-creators of pain, right? So things that happen in our lives, they can be wonderful and we could just create a lot of pain around it in different ways, right? Our resistance, our fears, and blah, blah, blah. And so when they were telling me, it's just change. You've done this before kind of feeling. It was also like, stop creating pain. Stop creating pain. Like it doesn't have to be painful. And it doesn't matter if it's perfect. It doesn't matter if it's what someone else says it should be. Right?
Yeah.
So that was really empowering. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. I loved it.
Love it.
Yay. Thank you so much, Amy. So let's talk about what you are offering right now, because you have something coming up that's pretty exciting. So.
Yeah. So if anybody's interested in learning more about the Akashic Records, manifesting, we have a Soul Evolution Masterclass series that's coming up completely free. It's 10 days. We do Monday through Friday for 2 weeks. And when I say it's absolutely free, it is. We give away prizes. And we do ancestral healing, soul lineage healing, money healings, abundance healings. We do rapid fire readings. Like it's a really cool event. And so if anybody's interested, you can sign up. You can go to my website, theamyrobeson.com/masterclass, or you can just go to my main website, theamyrobeson.com. And that's TheAmyRobeson.com. And you can also, we have like other free things on there, but this series is an extravaganza. And
sounds
we give away prizes. It's a lot of fun. And if you're interested in learning more about the Akashic Records or just experiencing them, because I give readings, I channel stuff, all the healings are done inside the Akashic Records, which is really fun. And so it's coming up February 17th. It starts February 17th. And if you can't join us live, you can catch the replays. We have lots of people all around the world that join. Okay. So if you can't join the actual live calls, you can just watch the replay. We have an easy replay page to watch all of the lives on, all the recordings on, which is really nice.
Nice. Oh my gosh, this is really exciting. I mean, 10 days of receiving healings, like why not? Yeah. So go check it out. I will have all the links in the show notes. Go get yourself some healing and start learning a little bit more about new pathways to healing, new pathways to our spiritual journey. So I think it's really important for us to leave anything that becomes habitual, not leave it, but step away from it for a moment and do something new. I think it's so great for our systems. I think it's so healing. So yeah, go check it out. I'll put the link in the show notes. And just thank you. That was really generous and lovely. And I'm like walking away from my podcast interview here, feeling like totally at ease. Yeah, which is nice because I feel happy. Yeah, well, yeah, it makes me happy too. So thank you so much, Amy. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
I'm sure you'll see me sign up for all your good stuff. Thank you for listening to Into the Work Therapy for Empaths and Seekers. Don't forget to grab your free gift, your Shadow Work Transformation Bundle at michellepoverman.com. I've included everything you need to get started to break through the patterns of self-sabotage and finally start to heal the parts of yourself that are getting in the way of truly reaching your potential. From a powerful meditation designed to help you meet and embrace your shadow self, to the guide that's full of curated prompts and important questions to support you on this journey. This really can be the work for you to unmask the root cause of all the issues you've been experiencing, honestly, and start to feel free to believe in yourself and go for what you want. The link for this free bundle is in the show notes. And if you like this episode, I would be so grateful if you could take a moment and rate, click and follow, and leave a review. Of course, you can always follow me on socials at Michelle Poverman. And keep in mind, as you embark on your journey from spark to brilliance, remember, the universe is always conspiring in favor of your awakening. Everything that's happening is in support of you lighting your own fire within. So until we meet again, may your path be well lit and your heart be guided. Shine bright, seekers. Until next time.